Welcome to EduNinja. In this lesson, we are going deeper into inheritance, from genes and alleles to genetic diagrams and exam-style crosses. Let us start with the language. A chromosome is a long, coiled molecule of DNA. A gene is a section of DNA that codes for a particular characteristic, such as eye color. An allele is a version of a gene, so the order is chromosome, then DNA, then gene, then allele. In an exam, do not use these words as if they mean the same thing. A chromosome carries many genes, while alleles are alternative versions of one gene. In a body cell, chromosomes occur in pairs. One chromosome in a pair comes from each parent. The two chromosomes have genes for the same characteristics in the same positions, even though the alleles may be different. Next, separate genotype from phenotype. Genotype means the alleles an organism has. Phenotype means the observable feature produced by the genotype and the environment. We often write alleles using letters. A capital letter represents a dominant allele, and a lowercase letter represents a recessive allele. A dominant allele affects the phenotype when just one copy is present. A recessive allele affects the phenotype only when no dominant allele is present. This is why a dominant characteristic does not automatically mean the organism is homozygous. There are four key genotype words. When both alleles are the same, the genotype is homozygous. For example, BB or BB. When the two alleles are different, the genotype is heterozygous, for example, BB. A homozygous dominant organism has two dominant alleles. A homozygous recessive organism has two recessive alleles. A heterozygous organism shows the dominant phenotype, but it carries the recessive allele. That hidden allele is why a recessive characteristic can reappear in the next generation. Now we can build a monohybrid cross. A monohybrid cross follows one characteristic. Suppose black fur, represented by B, is dominant to white fur, represented by B. Start with the parent genotypes. For two heterozygous parents, write BB crossed with BB. Each parent produces two gametes, B and B. Put one parent's gametes across the top of the grid and the other parent's gametes down the side. Then combine the allele at the top with the allele at the side in each box. The four boxes contain one BB outcome, two BB outcomes, and one BB outcome. The genotype ratio is therefore 1 BB to 2 BB to 1 BB. But the phenotype ratio is different because BB and BB both show the dominant characteristic. So the phenotype ratio is 3 dominant to 1 recessive. Notice the logic. First complete the genetic diagram, then count genotypes, then translate genotypes into phenotypes. Do not jump straight to 3 to 1 without showing the inheritance. The expected probability of a recessive offspring is 1 out of 4 or 25% for this cross. Probability is an expectation over many offspring, not a guarantee for the next single offspring. Here is a useful extension. A test cross uses a homozygous recessive individual to find out whether an organism showing the dominant phenotype is BB or BB. Cross the unknown organism with BB. If all offspring show the dominant phenotype, the parent may be BB. If any offspring show the recessive phenotype, the unknown parent must be BB. In a school exam, always state the parental genotypes, the possible gametes, the offspring genotypes, and the conclusion. Each line makes your reasoning visible to the marker. Let us work through a real sweet pea inheritance question. A purple flowered plant is heterozygous, and it is crossed with a white flowered plant. Now pause and decide how you would set up the cross. Write the parent genotypes first, capital P, crossed with small p. The possible gametes are capital P and small p from the first parent, and small p from the second. The offspring are capital P, and small p in equal numbers. So the phenotype ratio is 1 purple to 1 white. Now a real goat fur question. Capital A gives white fur, and small a gives black fur. Both goats are capital A, small a. Take a moment to set up the square. Put capital A and small a across the top, and capital A and small a down the side. The four offspring genotypes are capital A, small a, capital A, small a, and small a, small a. That gives a genotype ratio of 1 to 2 to 1 and a phenotype ratio of 3 white to 1 black. Finally, a tongue rolling question. Tongue rolling is controlled by dominant allele capital T. A heterozygous roller has a child with a non-roller. Pause here and predict the cross. It is capital T, small t, by small t, small t. The gametes are capital T and small t from the first parent, and small t from the second, the possible offspring are capital T, or small t, so the phenotype ratio is one roller to one non-roller. Notice how the symbols stay consistent from the question to the final ratio. Before we finish, keep these scoring habits. 1. Write capital and small letters precisely. 2. Complete the genetic diagram step by step. 3. Separate genotype from phenotype. 4. Give the ratio in its simplest form. And finally, check your genotype, phenotype, ratio, dominant, and recessive terms. Keep practicing with real exam questions on EduNinja. You can study topic by topic, follow step-by-step solutions, build smart papers, and use revision notes when you need a quick recap. Visit eduninja.net and keep turning concepts into marks.